I begin with the third part of the video wherein we just saw that he was trying his level best to come out of water, but he was not able to. And we also saw his struggle inside the pool wherein he was tossed by a bully inside, and on top of it he did not know how to swim, and that too he was dropped at the deeper side of the pool. He did not fall on the shallower side, so hence he was trying to come out of it relentlessly, but unfortunately things were not falling in place. And this person thought that he'll come out like a cock, but that also did not happen. And unfortunately there was some sort of a force which was pulling him down, but still William did not lose hope and he kept trying. And then I'll read the next part of the story and explain you. I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes. Nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could see through. And then sheer stark terror seized me. Stark means deep terror. Okay. Sheer means nothing else but terror. Seized is captured. Terror that knows no understanding. Terror that knows no control. Terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. It was shrieking underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid with fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. And then in the midst of terror came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. At last I felt the tiles under me. The writer says even if he tried endlessly to come out on the surface, or even if he was trying to battle hard with water, but he was going down gradually and slowly. All his attempts were futile, all his trials were futile while he was doing so. And what captured him was stark, deep terror. There was nothing beyond it. And he also says anyone who has witnessed it can only understand what is he talking about. Somebody who has not gone through the pain, somebody who has not been traumatized will never be able to understand what exactly terror means, what exactly being scared means. When you are terrified, when you are petrified about something and you are yelling, screaming for help, nobody is about to reach, nobody is there to help you or bail you out of that circumstance. Only that person will understand what he was going through. And his relentless trials were all useless. There was no hope. It's like he was just trying to come out of it. And he kept yelling, screaming, but nobody came for help. And finally, he could only feel the tiles below the pool. There are two words which I missed out. Shrieking means to scream loudly, and pounding means when your heart beats very, very fast. So here the author wants to say that he kept screaming on top of his voice. He yelled, but nobody heard him. And also his heart was beating so fast because one, that he was worried, tensed, and he was going down deeper even if he tried hard. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. Please underline that line. I jumped with everything I had. So then the toes reached out as if to grab them. That means the toes were trying to move up, trying to come out of it, but he was not able to. And he jumped with all the power, all the energy that he had. He tried with everything in his body to come up. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, nothing but water. A mask of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. So here he was struggling hard to come up on the surface, but he was not able to. He was trying to grab for ropes, for ladders, for water wings, all those things which are generally available in a pool.
while a person is trying to learn swimming, but nothing he could grab on except water. And the color of water has been referred to as yellow, not because of the color was, obviously the water color was blue only, but then here due to reflection of light, and since he was into it and he was getting into unconsciousness, that's why he feels that the color of water is yellow here. Stark terror. Stark is, deep terror, something that is extreme terror, took an even deeper hold on me. I was getting terrified and frightened, and I didn't know what to do. Like a great charge of electricity, it was taking over me. I shook and trembled with fright. I was like scared. I was really, really scared, and I was frightened. I was out of my this thing that how will I survive? What will I do? Because I have tried everything that I knew. I have tried all the survival skills, but then it's the same. My arms wouldn't move now. Why? Because he was powerless. Whatever energy he could have, whatever energy he had, he tried everything, but nothing was working. My legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. My legs were freezing. It was, it was lacking energy now. My energy was, I was losing out on energy, and I wanted to call out for help. I wanted to call for my mother, but nothing happened. As you know, whenever a child is in deep trouble, he always remember his mother, because mother always comes in to comfort the child. And then strangely there was light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. At least my eyes were. My nose was almost out too. Then I started down a third time. I sucked for air and got water. The yellowish light was going out. Then all effort ceased. I relaxed. Even my legs felt limp, and the blackness swept over my brain. It wiped out fear, it wiped out terror. There was no panic. It was quiet and peaceful. Now, here what was happening is he was now slowly going into oblivion. He was becoming unconscious. So, if you can see, these are the symptoms. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. Here he was actually not coming out, but then the color of the water has been defined as yellow. Why? Because as I told you earlier, it was due to the reflection, and awful because he was struggling inside it. At least my eyes were. He just could see the outer environment with his eyes, but he couldn't come out of. My nose was almost out too. Then I started down a third time. He tried, his face could come out, and then again he started going down the pool the third time. I sucked for air and got water. He was trying to breathe. But then what he received, what he got in return was only water. The yellowish light was going out, and all effort ceased. All my efforts went to the, haywire. It was like no point having it, and nothing was working. I relaxed. Then when I felt that nothing is working, I relaxed myself. Even my legs felt limp, and the blackness swept over my brain. My legs, my limb, everything was like, it was not moving. It was paralyzed. It wiped out fear. Everything was wiped out. I mean, there was no fear anymore. There was no terror anymore. There was no more panic. There was no fear, panic, nothing. It was quiet and peaceful. Why? Because he was getting into oblivion. He was getting into unconsciousness. Nothing to be afraid of. This is nice. To be drowsy, to go to sleep. No need to jump. Too tired to jump. It's nice to be carried gently, to float along in space. Tender arms around me, tender arms like mothers. Now I must go to sleep. I crossed to oblivion, and the curtain of life fell.
The last couple of lines, like too tired to jump, now I'm drowsy, now I want to be in the tender arms of my mother. These are the lines when he was slowly getting into unconsciousness. He tried everything, whatever energy, whatever skills, everything he tried, whatever philosophies he knew, everything. So, but now he was at certain point where he was, gradually getting into unconsciousness, and nothing was important for him anymore. He felt as if he has been embraced by his mother. There are tender arms of his mother around him, and he has reached a comfortable space, a space which he wanted to reach, where there's no tension, no worries, no anxieties, and it's very peaceful. Next, I remember, was lying on my stomach beside the pool vomiting. The chap that threw me in was saying, but I was only fooling around. Someone said, the kid nearly died. Be all right now. Let's carry him to the locker room. Several hours later, I walked home.
So here what happens is, this is after the incident, he was like nearly drowned, but somebody saved him, thankfully. And the boy who pushed him into the pool said, I was just fooling around, I didn't mean to do that. And the person who saved said, this kid was nearly dying. So then he was carried to the locker room, and after some hours, he had the courage to walk back home. I was weak and trembling. Obviously, that was shocking, and because of the shock, he was weak and he was frightened. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. I couldn't eat that night. For days, a haunting fear was in my heart. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could.
We see that William now has started walking back home, and he has been saved by somebody near the pool, wherein that person also scolds the bully that this boy was nearly dead. But then thank God he was saved, and now after several hours he started walking back home. But this fear was there in his head, and this fear kept haunting him for years together. He did not want to go near the pool, he did not want to see the side of water because he was petrified, he was scared to death. And moreover, wobbly means weak. So when he was not able to walk properly, and something that scares you out of it. I mean, it's like somebody is so petrified, somebody is so frightened that he doesn't want to get to that side also, because that brings back the same old episode and the memory, and he wanted to run away from that. But it was constantly following William wherever he went. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the Cascades, I wanted to get into them. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Teton or Bumping River or bathing in warm lake of the Goat Rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool would come back. It would take possession of me completely. My legs would become paralyzed. Icy horror would grab my heart. This handicap stayed with me in the years rolled by. In canoes or main lakes, fishing for landlocked salmons, bass fishing in New Hampshire, trout fishing on the ditches or Metrodus in Oregon, fishing for salmon on the Columbia as Bumping Lake in the Cascades. Wherever I went, the haunting fear of the water followed me. The author says after several years of this episode that happened in his life, he was not able to come out of it. And because of that, he did not enjoy any water sports or maybe fishing trips, all those activities which are mentioned here. Cascades, by the way, is waterfall. So whenever I used to go near that waterfall, that old fear used to come back. It used to again hover around. And anything, the salmon fishing, bass fishing, different type of fishing that they have mentioned, trout fishing, any sort of fishing, water activities did not comfort me, but it used to always terrify me from within, and I used to get back to the same old episode that happened once in my life, which I could not come out of it. And I tried my level best to conquer that fear, but every time I did, I used to only get more terrified, petrified, and I could not gain the courage to deal with it. Ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating and swimming. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grip. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around me, a rope attached to the belt went through a pulley that ran over an overhead cable. So as I've mentioned before, this person was struggling hard to come out of his own inhibition, that is fear of water. And whenever any adventure related to water, maybe fishing, swimming, canoeing, he was always away from it. So one day he decided, I have to defeat this fear. I have to conquer my fear, because all that fear which exists is within you. You have to come out of it yourself. You have to come out of your inhibitions, your own self, by trying constantly. So one day he decided that I am going to hire an instructor, and this was a life-changing decision wherein an instructor was brought in, and he started teaching him. Teaching William was not easy, let me tell you. So he has got different methods of teaching. As I say, every student is different, teacher remains the same. I have to adapt different ways and means to teach you. Similarly, this instructor had a different strategy because he knew that his fear is, in depth, that it is somewhere down, deep down in his heart, it has got embedded. So he has to deal something, he has to deal in a different way. So here he attached him with a pulley and a rope with a machine there. So then he was sure that he will not drown. He was attached to a cable which was near his waist. It was just like a belt, and every time he was put into water, he used to get back the same kind of fright, same kind of terror. But then gradually, with time, he dealt with it and he came out of it. We'll see that later. But for today, that's all. And please go through and revise, read the NCERT. If you have any doubts, feel free to get back to me. And I hope you are able to understand. And try to remember one incident that has left a deep scar in your mind, a fear which you want to conquer, a fear that you are dealing with. Thank you.